we all remember a moment in elementary school that helped us later on in life, whether it was a song or a trick to help us remember something as we grow. For example, we all know our ABCs because of the song, and to this day, we still sing the song to ourselves to remember the order. The same goes for learning a second language. The importance of learning a second language in our culture is pretty crucial so that we can interact with people with other ethnic groups and don't speak English. So encourage this situation as you grow older and as your kids in the future grow and as they enter elementary school or even preschool. If we learned at a young age, it would have been easier for us to retain information and grow with it now. Our foreign language classes would be beneficial and we wouldn't be starting from square one. First, we will take a look at brain development in children. Next, we will discuss some positive aspects to development when learning a second language young. And finally, we will touch on some long-term effects to learning a second language at a younger age. Now let's dive into brain development. It is easier to start at a younger age because they are able to retain information more due to brain development that gives way to retain a lot quicker, easier, and long-lasting. According to First Things First issue on brain development, by the age of 5, the brain has already developed 90%. What? That's insane. According to Lead with Languages, by giving children a head start with learning a second language before or around the age of 5, they use the same part of their brain to acquire that second language that they use to learn their mother tongue, which is their official language. In addition, young learners don't let their mistakes become a fear. They don't let their mistakes get to them, whether now that is more of an obstacle for us because we're afraid to make mistakes in front of people, but children don't care if they make mistakes. They laugh it off. They don't let it bother them. In addition, Lead with Languages also touches on how starting at a young age is important and it promotes a positive and direct correlation to cognitive development when devoting themselves to learning a new language. When you start learning at a young age and devoting yourself and sticking to it, it increases and has a direct correlation to your cognitive development. And I've seen this firsthand at my job. We start teaching toddlers sign language. So this is more and please and thank you so that they can communicate with us. If they don't know how to speak well or only say the word ball, we also will teach Spanish to our early preschool classes, and you can really see how they grow in these areas and they're able to retain it when you ask them something. Also, I've seen it in my after-school kids who are involved in the Spanish immersion program through Union County Public Schools. I have 2 kindergartners, a first grader, and 2 second graders in this program, and they can tell me more about Spanish than I will ever know and speak it so well. If they ask for help, I have to ask them to translate their directions to me because I have no idea what it says. By starting at that age, they will be able to retain and continue with the program throughout their years. So when it comes time for them to be in high school or college, they're probably going to be bilingual. That's crazy. And so now that we have discussed brain development and how it plays a huge role in starting early, let's look at some positive aspects to their development when learning a second language. There are some positive aspects in development when learning a second language young. According to a 2014 issue of Developmental Neuropsychology, there are 6 principles to second language development, which we will cover a couple of them. One principle is children learn what they hear the most. So when a child hears a certain amount in each language, it may expand and affect their vocabulary size in each language. So they're being uplifted in both at the same time, which is awesome. Following the same issue, another principle is that children learn from things and events that interest them. Children are likely to learn words or for things that they find interesting to them, and making that their interest in something is an important role when it comes to learning. having those outside connections. Language learning is then enhanced when they hear certain words that spark feelings and engagement with their mind. Which another aspect is they're also able to hear diverse examples of words and language structures when learning a new language that also help their communication skills and enhance that and advance them over the top where they should be. So that they can have conversations with people at such a young age. Now that we have looked at some positive aspects to learning a second language with their development, let's dive into some long-term effects of learning a second language young. Here are some of the long-term effects. According to Lead with Languages, long-lasting sequences provide the opportunity for learners to grow alongside their new second language and the culture of that language, which develops a deeper connection as they grow and mature over the years. According to GIST Education and Learning Research Journal's July through December 2018 issue, their research shows that young adults who were learning a foreign language had trouble retaining the information into their long-term memory. This just goes to show how it benefits learning a second language at the youngest age that you can. When starting late into the game, you aren't able to retain the information as much as you were when you were younger. And this also paves the way where children can become bilingual really fast. And this also opens the door for more career opportunities as they grow. It improves problem solving and creativity. They learn faster and easier younger, and by doing this, it prevents age-related mental illnesses. Now that we have discussed the lasting impacts, let's review what we've learned. First, we talked about how it is easier for children to retain information easier due to their brain development and when it starts to develop fully. Next, we talked about the positive aspects to development from learning a second language, like enhancing their communication skills. Finally, we finished with long-term effects of learning a second language at a young age. I urge you to keep this in mind as you have your own children and as they go into elementary school, and be a voice to the schools, whether you're going into the profession of education or not. Encourage it. Help your children out. Just remember how much easier it was to learn how much easier it was to learn at a young age. Wouldn't it be cool if we were all bilingual at this point? Think about it.